Unique always gonna be my brother. That don't mean we the same. Unique ain't going nowhere. My brother ain't going nowhere.
Detective Beck in episode 1, Sal Buscemi in episode 2, Dean in episode 4, and now Unique in episode 5. The writers seem like they're cleaning up, and it just makes you think. Not only are they giving us constant reminders that nobody's safe in the world of power, who are they making room for, and what particular storyline could they be bringing in next, especially after the biggest moment in Raising Kanan so far, Unique's death. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down Brothers and Keepers from more of an opinion-based breakdown. We're going to take a look at Ronnie getting rid of his brother, but more so my opinion on what I think is coming next, how the writers have completely turned the tables upside down, flipped the script, and wiped the king off the chessboard. But I also want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions as well. I do want to know what you make of the biggest moment of the series so far, so make sure you drop your comments down below in the comment section, because I do know that what we saw will divide a few opinions, and I think my opinion will split a few as well, so let's start with mine. Now first of all, I do want to start by saying, how well did Joey Badass body the role of Unique for 3.5 seasons? What a performance! He embodied every single bit of the 90s era, from his dress sense, to his mannerisms, to the way he carried himself from his first scene to his very last, as well as the fact that many are still questioning whether he's alive or dead. It's just a testament to not only how well Joey Badass played the role of Unique, but a huge credit to the writers as well. So let's pour one out for Kadeem Unique Mathis. Now, what is my opinion on Unique's death? I think first thing we have to touch on is he really dead? Because I know a lot of people will be asking the question. We've seen some funny things recently in the Power universe, and so I don't blame people for asking the question or thinking twice. But with Unique, what we have to remember is, Raising Kanan is a lot more authentic, there's a lot more realism to the show compared to the others, and it's also the 90s era, so in my opinion, the king has fallen. So was it the right move to kill him off? I think we have to remember that the writers can't always have what they want, so I will start with that point. Actors can sometimes dictate the storyline through other commitments, and I'm not so sure whether Joey Badass wanted to go and concentrate on music or other projects, so that also could have played a part. But do I feel it was the right moment to kill him off to move the storyline going forward? Now, as much as he was a big character, and as much as I liked his character from day one, I do feel it was the right moment, because sometimes you just have to move the storyline forward. We've had 2 stellar seasons of him playing somewhat the villain type of role, where he went up against Rock, although I think we can make a good case to say the real villain of the story is Rock herself. But we've had 2 seasons of him being in this cat and mouse game with Rock, where we then saw them flip the script in season 3. He was also here to introduce us to a huge new threat, his older brother Ronnie Mathis, and I think that's one of the reasons why I feel it probably is the right moment to kill off a big name like Unique, to basically make way for a huge new threat, give Rock something new to think about and a reason to pull her back in the game. And what better way to introduce a major new threat in Ronnie, Unique's older brother who just killed his own flesh and blood in the coldest and most brutal ways. But if we were to be truly honest, Unique did beat him. Ronnie did hit him from behind when Unique had his back turned, but then you could also argue, never drop your guard and never turn your back. Now, having said that, if the writers did want to stretch Unique's story, I do think they could have, because he is a huge fan favorite. But what it also does is, it reminds us that nobody is safe in the world of power, and any of these characters can go at any given moment, especially with Ronnie around. So there's my opinion. After watching the scene back a few times, I don't think anybody would have survived what Ronnie did to Unique, and I do feel it is the right moment for Rock to deal with a new threat, and Ronnie Mathis is the perfect villain. So what's next? In episode 6 onwards, the news about Unique's death is going to start to filter through the streets, and it is going to send shockwaves throughout Queens, although in episode 6 trailer they have left it ambiguous, with Panessa questioning his whereabouts, but I am expecting his body to be found, and let's remember, he just wasn't a big player in the streets. He also had met with Stefano, who put him in touch with Quan, who in turn set him up with his cousin's Chinese restaurant, so I do think they need to deal with that issue. You know, will they be looking for a replacement, and could this be one way Rock is forced back in the street game? By being forced by Stefano and the Italian Mafia. Now the reason I say this is because there is a teaser that was released with Rock in a meeting with Quan, where she says he's got the ball but she's got the players. I also feel Unique's death alone isn't quite the game changer that will force Rock back into the game. I do think her getting back into the streets will be a combination of elements. There's Unique's death, and legit businesses are under fire. I also feel Ronnie Mathis will start to pull Kanan away even more, and then there's Stefano who could give her no choice but to replace Unique. Now, from Rock's standpoint, I think she needs to repair the broken relationships with Lou and bring a family closer together, because there is a tornado coming their way. There is this interaction we haven't seen yet with Rock and Lou at Cafe Vu, which is coming in episode 6, and I do think it is time both of them had that talk, which we haven't seen so far. As Lou said in episode 5, he just wants to be left the fuck alone. He's been saying fuck Rock, and Rock has been saying fuck Lou, but I really do feel the Thomas family now need to show a united front, because Ronnie will be a threat like no other. Now, what about Marvin? A character who, let's not forget, has been showing more of a softer, calmer, and caring side so far in Season 3, which dates back to his anger management days in Season 2. But with Unique's death, will he have to turn up? I think he's gonna have to kind of deal with the threat of Ronnie, because they're gonna need all the muscle that they can get, and if Rock is to bring down someone like Ronnie, then she will need Marvin the gangster to do his gangster shit. Someone else we have to watch out for is Panessa, who, let's not forget, did foreshadow Unique's death.
We're well left behind a son and a daughter. Okay, I'm not trying to be a single mother.
Now, this is something I will go through in a bit more detail in the episode 6 trailer breakdown, but she said that she didn't want to end up like a single mother like Worrell, who left behind too. So what's her next move when she finds out Unique is no more? She will be coming to Rox and confronting her, because even though she wasn't happy that Unique was sleeping with Rock, you have to remember, Unique still was taking care of Panessa and Jerome. He gave her what she needed for her and Jerome, so she is going to come to Rox, where I think they'll probably put 2 and 2 together, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Rock giving her some money to get out of Queens. Now, with Ronnie taking out Unique, the path is clear for him to do as he pleases, and I think we've already seen what his next move is. He's going to give Kanan a fishing rod so he can teach him how to fish, by giving him his first brick. We're also going to see Ronnie taking Kanan under his wing, poisoning his mind against Rock just like Kanan did with Tariq in Power with Ghost. He'll most likely introduce him to Snaps and Pop, as well as getting his organization back up and running the way he wants, his old school way. Throughout the season, we've seen him putting things back in place, tidying up, which is probably because he has OCD, but also because he likes things how they're supposed to be. He's reluctant to change, it's his way or no way. So now that Unique has been moved out the way, he can finally get back to his way of running things, whether that's under the Colombians, let's wait and see, because Juliana did say for as long as Unique was around, they wouldn't be doing business. Initially, Ronnie did say his brother was going nowhere, but that changed real quick. So could Juliana now be on board doing business with Ronnie, or could she actually tell him to get rid of Rock? Because there's also the Rock and Juliana beef they need to come back around to. Now, another question I have following Unique's death is, what happens with Ronnie? Because I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking Ronnie has to go, but do they kill 2 major players in one season? Are the writers going to be on their Game of Thrones type of shit where they just start clearing the chessboard, or does that now mean Ronnie will make it to season 4? Now, if I were to be honest, I initially did think Ronnie will be a death towards the end of season 3, and mainly because Grantham Coleman had been casted to play a lead role in another TV show. Of course, he can film Raising Kanan at the same time, but you know it would have to kind of work with his schedule. But if they do go ahead and kill Ronnie off, you have to wonder, how do you kind of keep the audience on edge? What do you do next? I think the answer is one player, Breeze, a character that I feel was teased by the showrunner over a year ago on social media. So with all of that being said, drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let me know how you think Unique's death will change the game. Or if you actually don't think Unique is dead, let me know in the comment section why. Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.